And now we're on the rooster, the 10th sign of the lunar cycle. Going to go through all 5 elements of the rooster and then compatibility. Metal rooster. This practical, exacting, and industrious rooster captivates people with his brilliant powers of deduction. Investigative, optimistic, and idealistic, he will have a passionate attitude toward work. Metal will make him opinionated and headstrong, and he will have a strong need to be important and famous. He is a tireless worker who could be so fixated on his own worldview that he finds it hard to even consider the opinions and ideas of others. With his gift for oratory, he may even drown out the voices of his opponents. Although he is factual and reasonable, he finds it hard to be totally impartial when his ego is directly challenged. If he cannot relate well to others or make any real efforts to compromise, his talents could be wasted and his genius will go a-begging. Over-rationalizing and analyzing could be disastrous. When he is negative, he will even subject a blooming romance to a routine clinical examination. He should curb his urge to overdo things and be more open to the views of other people. Despite his outward bravado, the metal rooster can be inhibited with his emotions. He will insist on order in his life and will demand hygienic conditions, or even sterile cleanliness in his surroundings. It kind of sounds like Virgo in a way, like to an extreme. That would be like the extreme form of like Virgo placements, like very clean and very exact and stuff like that. But while this acquisitive rooster is attracted to material wealth, he will also be concerned with social reform. He is not above using his expertise on behalf of humanity, as he will find fulfillment in solving social problems or instigating reforms for the advancement of mankind. The water rooster. This is an intellectual rooster who will enjoy cultural pursuits. Respectable and inspiring, he has tremendous energy and initiative at his disposal and will seek to use his own resources or enlist the help of others to speed up progress. With water as his element, he will think clearly and be extremely practical. Oh, interesting. With the water as the element, thinking clearly and practical. Anyways, he can be reasoned with, especially when faced with unsurmountable odds. He is not as austere or critical as other roosters. A proficient writer as well as a commanding speaker, the water rooster can sway the masses and prompt others to action. With his strong scientific leanings, he will be interested in health, medicine, and technology. However, since his mind functions with computer-like efficiency, he could lose sight of the main issues should he overemphasize details. Systems and procedures fascinate him, and if he becomes obsessed with perfecting them, he could get bogged down in creating a fine bureaucracy and little else. The wood rooster. This rooster is an expansive type who can be more considerate of others and has a wider outlook on life. Although he is much less stubborn and opinionated than the other roosters, he will still have a tendency to complicate matters and get trapped in a maze of his own making. He should learn to contain his enthusiasm and avoid overexerting himself. In addition, he should not expect everyone to have the same stamina and dedication that he possesses. No matter how well-meaning his intentions, imposing unrelieved rote work and regimentation on his subordinates may totally alienate them. Wood makes him progress-oriented, and when wood is matched with his virtuous qualities of honesty and integrity, he will excel in his performance, and his charts and graphs will amaze everyone. Open-minded, fair, and sociable, he can give unselfishly of himself to foster the welfare of others. He will seek to contribute to or improve existing social conditions, because he always desires to be in a congenial atmosphere. He will seek close association with people he works with and will have an excellent record of reliability. Still, he is basically a rooster and will not water down his biting comments when aroused. However, he will always work hard to protect his security. Life will be good for him if he does not take on too many high-flying projects at the same time. Fire rooster. This combination is possibly a shooting star. With fire as his element, this rooster will be vigorous, highly motivated, and authoritative. And I'm going to sneeze. Oh. Okay. Excuse me. He will be able, hold on. Okay. He will be able to operate independently and with great precision and skill. On the negative side, he could be temperamental, overdramatic, and nervous. Strongly principled and single-minded in his pursuits of success, he will display above average managerial abilities and leadership. The diligent and intense fire rooster will stick fanatically to his own views and conduct his own fact-finding tours and feasibility studies. That kind of resonates for me. He will be unswayed by the feelings or personal opinions of others, although he will be professional and ethical in his dealings. At times, he could be too inflexible to effect workable compromises. As a result, he will take to putting people and situations under a microscope for observation. If things do not measure up to his expectations, he could assume the role of an inquisitor or cause major upheavals. Yet he does have organizational talents and can project a stimulating and dynamic public image. And despite his shortcomings, this type of rooster will have the noblest intentions behind all his actions. Earth rooster. This studious and analytical rooster will dig for the truth, mature early, and compile his own data storage banks. Earth ensures that he will be accurate, efficient, and careful in carrying out assignments. He will know how to brush aside the gaudy inessentials and view the hard, cold facts for himself. With him, you will get the bottom line first. Unafraid of shouldering vast responsibilities, he will adhere to the rooster's reputation for not mincing words. Unpretentious and dogmatic, he will have strong missionary tendencies. He loves conducting Sermon on the Mount style meetings, exhorting everyone to work harder and follow his shining example. He is satisfied to lead a simple and austere life if he finds his job rewarding. Fanatically systematic, he will keep all his notes, file all his data, and record everything he does for posterity. A hard taskmaster, strict educator, and much dreaded critic. The earth rooster will sow and reap from sun up to sundown. If he can bring himself to be practical in his aspirations, he will have bushels and bushels of success to show for his efforts. All right, now we go to the compatibilities. Remember, you could always look with ascendants too, so make sure to know what your ascendant is, and you can look at both of them and see how they work with like other animal signs and all that stuff. So, rooster and rat. There will be difficulties in communication. Both like to talk and argue, but these two signs seem to test each other's patience. The rooster likes to criticize, while the rat can be just as picky and petty. In such a competitive and fault-finding atmosphere, nothing lasting or special can develop. Better for them to work through mutual friends to diffuse potential clashes. There will be a better chance for success if they share a common ascendant, or if one sign has the other as an ascendant. Ox and the rooster. With a mutual respect for time and order, the ox and the rooster will make a lasting bond with each other. The ox is hardworking and enjoys spending time with people who follow through on their promises. He finds that the rooster shares a similar philosophy. The rooster is cut from the same cloth as the ox. A perfectionist by nature, the rooster takes the time to plan ahead and charts progress with great attention to detail. The rooster and the ox build trust with each other easily, building a good foundation for love, friendship, or business. The tiger and the rooster. So the rooster and tiger are alike in the sense that they are both attracted to controversy and will take on hot issues. They will either be the best of friends or find each other very irritating. It depends on which day of the week it is, of course, and both tend to blow hot and cold and are drawn to the limelight and may compete for the center stage or top billing. The rooster is the dauntless perfectionist who cannot understand how the feisty tiger can lead such a charmed life and be so popular. The tiger, on the other hand, thinks the rooster makes a mountain out of a molehill and will insist on viewing the whole picture instead of picking on the details, as the rooster is so prone to do. And that's very interesting as far as like the animal sign goes with the characteristics picking. Like, you know, a chicken, they're very like sharp and keen and they're very quick, but they literally look in the ground for hours and hours and picking, like they could see the bugs moving. They're so quick to like pick at them and stuff. And they also can be loud, like especially roosters, because they crow a lot. You know, they do the cock-a-doodle-doo thing. And I have a rooster, so I can tell you, yes. Yeah, I have a rooster. His name is Cogburn. Rooster Cogburn, actually. Anyways, continuing. The rabbit and the rooster. So the rooster and the rabbit will need a common ascendant or a skilled go-between to come together without argument. The two animals' communication styles are completely opposite. The rooster likes to lay out all of his cards on the table and talk about them in great detail, while the rabbit prefers more subtle methods. As a result, each animal interprets the other's actions in a negative way. The rooster feels the rabbit's slow progress by being too secretive, and the rabbit finds the rooster's style garish. Yeah. And like I said before, having my animal sign, well, my year sign being a fire rabbit and a rooster ascendant is definitely challenging, to say the least, at times. It's like a constant battle inside. It's like, you know, but at the same sense, it's a good thing because it's easier for me to see both sides of the spectrum of things. I think that's kind of how it is for me anyways, and have different ways of looking at things. Maybe. Continuing on, the dragon and the rooster. The dragon is drawn to the chicken's expertise and competence, while the rooster is in awe of the dragon's zeal and enthusiasm. They will strive to find prosperity, success, and happiness together. In order to achieve a mutual bond and a lasting relationship, both signs must approach a partnership with reduced expectations and muted egos. Got to put those egos on mute. The rooster can deal with the dragon's brashness, and the thick-skinned dragon is not afraid of the chicken's undiluted criticism and need for accuracy. The dragon can fight, while the rooster will perch on its shoulder and plan their next move and supervise. We should pity the opposition. I just kind of envision like this, you know, a dynamic duo where it's like, you know, the master like boss, and he has like his accomplice, but it's like right there. I'm trying to think of, there's so many out there, but like I'm trying to envision like, because the rooster perched on the dragon's shoulder. Isn't there like a show on that or some kind of comic or like villains or superhero thing? There could also be like a myth. It's not coming to my mind right now because I'm trying not to take up too much time, but I just wanted to point that out. Okay. So I left off on the dragon. Yes. Okay. Snake and rooster are both contemplative souls who find a good connection with each other. The rooster is definitely the more outspoken of the two, always with an opinion to share. On the other hand, the snake is more close-mouthed about his thoughts and is more selective with whom he confides in. The snake warms to the rooster because he sees the rooster's dependability and helpful nature. Despite the difference in conversation style, the rooster and snake understand each other and can develop a long-lasting friendship. Oh. And the horse and the rooster. The horse and the rooster will have an amicable to cool relationship depending on who's the boss. When the rooster has the upper hand and is in control, he can be a domineering commander. If the horse is at the controls, he may find the rooster critical, eccentric, and a bit too argumentative for his taste. Both love adventure and activity, but have different ways of handling challenges. The industrious chicken plots and researches and requires all sorts of information before he acts, while the horse will wing it in a thoroughly unconventional way and confound the rooster with his speed and progress. The sheep and the rooster. The sheep may shun the rooster because he is a hard taskmaster and disciplinarian, and the sheep needs to be courted and praised to bring out his best. The rooster is easily exasperated by the wiles of the sheep, and there will be many gaps to be bridged before a good rapport is established between these two. Ties will only be moderate unless they happen to share a common ascendant. The rooster will try to be helpful, but he may alienate the sheep when he tries to run his life and imposes so many rules. The sheep cannot abide the rooster's criticism and regimentation. There will be much unhappiness if they cannot work with the same schedule. The monkey and the rooster. Monkeys know how to handle roosters, but only to a certain degree. They can be immune to the rooster's criticism if they want something badly enough, and they are not above flattering the rooster to put him in a good mood. However, even the monkey's patience could wear thin if the rooster insists on examining all the details over and over. Monkeys are easily bored and do not have the long attention spans of roosters. They could have different approaches to a common problem. The monkey will opt for the shortcut or invent one if possible. The rooster will take the long and winding path and make simple things difficult by his overanalysis. The rooster and the rooster. Roosters get along with people of their sign only if they belong to the opposite sex. Male roosters are very selfish about sharing the limelight, and it is difficult to have two cocks as kings of the chicken coop. I'm going to read that again because I'm immature. Male roosters are very selfish about sharing the limelight because it is difficult to have two cocks as kings of the chicken of the hen house. Okay, they will constantly try to upstage each other and cause a lot of problems for the poor folks who may come between them. Female chickens may also tend to harp and criticize each other with their sharp tongues, although they may eventually get a lot done. So, I guess not as bad with the female ones, but more so bad with the male ones. That's what it sounds like to me. Still, all the discussion could wear out an ordinary person, which is understandable for sure. It's best not to get caught in the chicken-to-chicken crossfire. Yeah, no. Although one doubts they will notice anyone once they are busy trading shots back and forth. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, dog and rooster. The rooster may worry the poor dog with his high-flying acts of daring and preposterous claims to fame. The dog would like to be a loyal friend and supporter of the rooster's high ideals, but he finds it difficult to understand the chicken's propensity for being controversial. However, the dog can be patient and understanding if the rooster proves his motives are above board and he has everyone's interests at heart. Once the dog is convinced the rooster's intentions are honorable, he will be protective and accepting of his eccentric ways. Keyword eccentric. Yes. Boar. The boar and the rooster. The rooster gets along with the boar because the pig is such a good sport, and also perhaps because he is too thick-skinned to be bothered by the rooster's criticism. Boars do not take roosters seriously, which is just as well. Otherwise, they would just make their own lives miserable. Very smart. The boar sounds very smart, honestly. The boar hears what he wants to hear and then makes his own choices. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's like they're not letting other outside forces affect you. The rooster can give advice all day long, but thankfully the boar is a cordial soul who responds to the rooster's goodwill with his typical kindness and generosity. Both signs are outgoing, but in different ways. Boar and rooster do not deal with conflict in the same manner. The boar is not petty and will readily share what he has without much complaint, while the rooster only calms down once he is able to vent his opinions. And that concludes the rooster. I will say that there's some that I definitely do resonate with in regards to the rooster, because since it's my ascendant, I'm pretty sure since I'm a fire rabbit, it would be a fire rooster as well. But I'm just gonna check really quick. Why not? So, and I'm an Aquarius. So, okay. I'm a fire rabbit, but since I'm an Aquarian rabbit, mine is air plus negative wood. So maybe I'm wood rabbit? I don't know. Rabbit and his ascendants, rooster, fire rabbit is the year. But according to being an Aquarian rabbit, it says that it equals air plus negative wood. So in Western astrology, I am a sun sign Aquarius and Leo rising. I do have an air sign moon as well, Gemini moon. So that is 2 air and 1 fire. So in a way, this kind of goes along with that. It's, well, it has wood element too in this one, but it's like a negative wood. So, yeah, it looks like they're all, wonder if there's like positive. Okay, yeah, so the dragon is positive. So it's the plus sign with either yin or yang. So if it's negative, that's the yin, right? It doesn't mean it's negative qualities. It just means it's yin, ing in Chinese, ing. And yeah, it's fun to explore. And yeah, I'll talk more about the other details in other videos, of course, but I got a lot out of that one. Yeah, learning a little bit more about my ascendant, my Chinese ascendant. That's what I have. Peace out.